Hello and welcome. I'm Becky with Mindful Living Psychotherapy, and today we're going to talk about DBT skills starting with mindfulness. So you might be aware of DBT and how it's composed and sort of organized, but it's composed of 4 different modules, starting with mindfulness. We have emotion regulation, we have interpersonal effectiveness, and distress tolerance. But as I said, DBT always starts off with mindfulness, and for a very particular reason. Mindfulness it's set up of the set of skills that help draw more awareness about yourself and your world. I kind of refer to mindfulness as being our internal assessment. It's this opportunity to assess both our external and internal worlds to kind of get a check-in and see where we are and how we need to proceed forwards. Think about how often in life you might live in automatic, kind of doing the same things you always did, whether it's getting to work in the same path or the same sorts of thoughts or processes in solving problems, and wondering why you don't have a different result. Well, mindfulness helps us to reevaluate that and see if that process is working for us and if it's not. If we don't have that process, then we just are kind of shooting in the dark, and we don't want to shoot in the dark any longer. We want to turn on the lights and be aware of all that's around us. So we're going to talk about mindfulness. So that's why mindfulness is a part of DBT in the first place. Next is the goals of mindfulness. So that's one of our worksheets. You can get that worksheet out right now. So as we start with the goals of mindfulness, we see that we start off with reducing suffering and increasing happiness. And that might be a little confusing. How could that possibly be in the first place? Because a lot of people think that to increase their happiness and reduce their suffering, they want to avoid reality a little bit more. But mindfulness is like opening up the windows and turning on the lights and looking at reality as it is. And the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of comes with that. But part of the good that we don't realize is that by opening up the windows and turning on the lights, we see a lot of the good stuff that's happening in our lives. So we can be more aware of what's going well, because we're probably always really aware of what's not going so well. So to balance that out, we get to see what's going well as well. And we also can increase control of the mind, which might seem like a little strange, but the irony is that the more you relax and try it and not to try to control the mind, though actually the more control over the mind that you gain. So it's you can think about that little toy where you stick your fingers in, and the harder you try to pull your fingers out, the more of a grip it has on you. Similar case with the mind. So by relaxing and radically accepting what is and going with the flow, we actually gain more control over our mind. And then lastly is to experience reality as it is. Again, reality is often the thing that people try to avoid in the first place, thinking that that is what helps feel more connected or perhaps more at ease in life, but we don't want to do that. With mindfulness, we want to look at everything as it is, because it gives us a sense of a map. We can have more of a direction on where we need to go and how we need to get there more effectively. And with mindfulness, all of the other skills in DBT will make a whole lot more sense, kind of like a toolbox. Mindfulness is the box itself, and once you open it, you can see what tools you need to use to kind of proceed forward. And then building a mindfulness practice. So I think what I've heard a lot in group is that people will say, well, I tried to meditate and it goes well for about 30 seconds and then I'm frustrated. Well, meditation is just one form of mindfulness. There's actually 2 different types of mindfulness. There's focused and open. So meditation is more of an open type of mindfulness, where we're opening up the mind and allowing our awareness of thoughts and emotions, and that can be where we get a little bit hairy, because the thoughts and emotions that we've not been wanting to look at is the time that they all emerge, and so that's what makes meditation more difficult. So in DBT, we often start with more of a focused type of mindfulness. Focused could be perhaps coloring, or doing yoga, or drinking tea in the morning, brushing your teeth, washing the dishes, walking your dog, sitting with your dog, petting your dog. Anything that's sensory also helps with really focusing in on the sensations or the taste or the sights or the sounds. So we want to build a mindfulness practice starting off with things that we do in life already. So what I would suggest is think about what you already do. Tea in the morning, washing dishes, brushing your teeth, and just all you have to do to take that activity and change it a little bit is to just be aware of what it is. It's being aware of all that that brushing your teeth is composed of: the feel of the toothpaste, the look of the toothpaste on your toothbrush, the smell of the toothpaste, the taste of the toothpaste, the sensations of brushing your teeth. We're trying to be aware of all of the little details. It's almost like the micro experiences of life that we often take for granted or purposefully don't want to look at, we want to look at, because we want to gather this information because it's going to help you going forwards.